video. Today we are reacting inside Vancouver worst rated buffet 2.2 star by Bite Buddy. Let's get this video started, guys. Let's go.
2.2 stars. That's the rating of this buffet behind me. And after reading some of the reviews online, honestly, I'm a little bit concerned. Food was tasteless and cold. Grossest mashed potatoes I've ever had. Worse than cafeteria food. Very bad restaurant. But here's the thing, this buffet is only $20, and despite all the hate online, it's been open since 1986. So either the internet is completely wrong, or this buffet is surviving for a reason. So today, I'm finding out whether or not this 2.2 star rating is actually justified. And at the end, after trying this buffet out for myself, I'll be leaving my own review for this place. Okay, so we're going to be approaching this buffet in different levels. First, we're starting with the food that should basically be impossible to mess up. Then we'll move into the more controversial stuff that people complain about online. And finally, the one item that might completely change my opinion about this buffet. And throughout the video, we'll be keeping score. Reviews get a point when they're right, and the buffet gets a point when it surprises me. But before we get into that, let me give you a quick tour of this buffet. Right at the start, you got your salad bar, then some simpler stuff like fries, dinner rolls, and sausages, then the main buffet line with things like beef stew, sweet and sour pork, and shepherd's pie. A tiny section for desserts, and all the way at the end you've got a fried rice and noodle station. And then off to the side was the carving station, which is where I started getting a little bit concerned. Because according to the website, they're supposed to serve roast beef here every single day. But there was absolutely no roast beef in sight. And while I was walking around the buffet, I decided to look into one of the reviews from Onway, who said, "It took me a while to find the least dirtiest mug for coffee. And after taking a quick look at the coffee station, yeah, some of these mugs were definitely a little bit questionable."
You've got a big day, and you need to smell fresh. That's why Unstoppables gives your clothes 24-hour non-stop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Unstoppables fresh. Smell unstoppable.
Nice truck. How much?
BCAA Auto Marketplace, helping you buy and sell vehicles. Tow trucks not included.
I don't know if you guys were able to see that, but there is somebody that's making the rounds and clearing people's tables. There were a couple of reviews that said this place was absolutely dirty, just completely filthy, but so far, that does not seem to be the case. One reviewer said, "The carpets are soiled and very old. All the carpeting in this place needs replacing." But since that review, it looks like they've actually replaced it with hardwood flooring. There was staff wiping the tables, clearing plates, and overall, the restaurant actually felt cleaner than I expected. Okay, so I've assembled a plate that in theory should be very difficult to mess up. We have here a salad, sausages, some french fries, a coleslaw, and a bit of, solid fruit. So none of the food here should really be make or break items. If a buffet can't get this stuff right, we might already be in trouble. The fries are a little soggier than what I usually prefer. I mean, at least they're seasoned. And then let's go for the sausage. Pretty sure it's just a boiled sausage. The coleslaw tasted fine, the fruit salad was literally just apples and salad dressing, and surprisingly, the lettuce in the salad was pretty crisp. And honestly, most of this plate was exactly what you'd expect from a cheap buffet. So far, dish one, pretty normal. Nothing terrible, but at the same time, nothing that really stood out. But worry not, because things are about to get a lot more interesting from here. For my second plate, I started getting into the foods that people were complaining about online. And I gotta be honest with you, some of these reviews were absolutely brutal. The pierogies were just as disgusting, tasting like they had been freezer burnt for 30 years, then thawed out, cooked, and served to you. That's what Angela said, so let's see if that's true. And I'll be honest, just by looking at this, the pierogi doesn't exactly look that appetizing. I was kind of digging through the tray looking for the least soggy looking pierogi. I can see what Angela is saying. The pierogi had that pale, slightly dried out look that frozen food gets after sitting around for way too long. I gotta say, I think Angela was right about the pierogi. It really just tastes like mush. That is the best way I can describe it. It's kind of like just a mixture of dough and something that should be cheese, but isn't actually cheese. Some parts of the pierogi is really hard from being freezer burnt. Yeah, so Angela was right. And alongside the pierogi, I also grabbed some chow mein and also a pancake. Let's see if this is better than a McDonald's pancake. Unfortunately, it is kind of pasty, and it kind of just sticks to your mouth as you chew. But the chow mein might have had the harshest reviews of all. So, James said the noodles were cold and disgusting. And Kathy also complained that the chow mein was so old, from days ago at least. Let's go for it. The chow mein does taste kind of stale. The noodles aren't cold, but they're kind of just like under the heat lamp temperature, you know what I mean? And because this is a buffet, that's actually the kind of temperature that I would expect. That said, Kathy was kind of dead on with her review. The chow mein really did taste like leftovers from the day before. I'm kind of regretting getting the pancake now because this is kind of big, and I don't know how they did it, but it feels like the batter is expanding in my mouth. One of the most complained items at this buffet was actually the fish. My wife had salmon that was so overcooked, she didn't finish, and she loves salmon. The salmon was very dry and tasted sweet. The mashed potatoes and salmon were watery. Now, here's the thing, I wasn't able to get salmon, but there was fish. And surprisingly, that fish was actually cod, which was not exactly something I expected to find at a $20 buffet. So, let's give it a taste. Honestly, I feel like the fish tastes pretty good. Well, it's definitely not watery. It's flaky, it's seasoned pretty well too. This is pretty good. And after reading all those reviews, I genuinely didn't expect the fish to end up being my favorite thing in the buffet so far. But the fish wasn't the only thing mentioned in the reviews. Jennifer also complained that the mashed potatoes were watery, so, naturally, I had to try it out. By looking at it, the mashed potatoes seem a little bit dry, but look sometimes can be deceiving. Not bad. Not bad. Okay. I don't know, maybe it's because I was expecting this to be like a watery mess as per Jennifer's review, but this is actually pretty good. Could it use a little bit more butter? Yeah, sure, but I think overall it's pretty good. The next review came from Roland, who said, the ground beef for the tacos was way too salty. Now, at the moment, there aren't any taco shells out at the buffet line. I just picked up some ground beef chili, and that's pretty much going to give me the same idea of whether or not it's actually salty. And to pair with it, I got some fries, because, I mean, why not? Let's try the chili on its own. Honestly, it tastes like pretty standard chili. I don't think it's too salty at all. The chili was actually pretty balanced. It had a decent amount of seasoning, and honestly tasted exactly like the kind of chili you'd expect at an old school buffet. But not every review was about Western food. Chris also claimed that the sweet and sour pork tasted boiled. I got some right here. Let's give it a taste. It's pretty standard food court quality sweet and sour pork. At a proper Chinese restaurant, you'd expect the outside to stay crispy while the meat inside stays tender. But here, the entire thing was soft all the way through. But at the very least, the taste is pretty decent. And it definitely doesn't taste boiled. I am now officially the only person eating inside this restaurant. And honestly, I feel kind of bad for them. Because so far, had the food been amazing? No. But had it been anywhere near as bad as the reviews made it sound? Honestly, not really. For $20, it kind of felt like I was getting exactly what I paid for.
Keep your eye on the ball, and your other eye on this burger. Lock in with a buy one, get one Whopper.
Now, going through hundreds of reviews for this place, there was one item that kept coming up again and again. Not as something that people complained about, but as the one thing that people actually defended. Okay, so this final item on their menu, I'm actually very excited to try. The majority of the comments online say that they have really good fried chicken here. If this fried chicken is good, I'd say that this would just be the cherry on top. At first glance, this was looking pretty promising. The chicken had a nice golden color, the skin looked crispy, and for the first time in this entire video, I felt genuinely optimistic. Alright, let's give the chicken a try. I mean, honestly, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I would say it's a decent fried chicken. The meat is fairly juicy and tender, and the skin is crispy. I mean, that's really all you can ask for in a fried chicken. It could probably do with a little bit more seasoning, but overall, I'm happy with it. Yeah, of course. Thank you so much. Oh, okay, sure thing. I'll get that. Honestly, I should have probably just ended my meal with the chicken, because while grabbing the ice cream, I remembered one final review from Robert, who said, ice cream machine don't work. Luckily, we just proved that that is not true. Or at least, that's what I thought. Oh, there's definitely something weird about this ice cream. For some reason, it's lumpy. I'm slightly afraid to take another bite. Oh, Okay, that is not right at all. The ice cream had these weird chewy lumps in it. And after doing a quick search online, I found out what the problem was. A lumpy soft serve is usually a telltale sign that a buffet's ice cream machine is either malfunctioning or struggling to keep a consistent freezing temperature, or it wasn't cleaned properly, allowing ice crystals or clumpy milk solids to form. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's what this is. Clumpy milk solids. I'm definitely not going to finish that. I couldn't end my buffet experience on such a bad note, so I grabbed a couple more desserts, and of course, a little bit more cod. And as I sat there finishing up my food, I finally figured out what I wanted to write in my review. After trying pretty much everything at the buffet, I think I finally understand what Uncle Willie's is all about. This isn't a place you come to for amazing food. You come here because for 20 bucks, you get unlimited food, a decent variety of options, and honestly, exactly what you paid for. There are definitely a few things in the buffet that I'd avoid, but overall, my experience wasn't nearly as bad as the internet makes it seem.
Sorry about this ad.
My Lindor Bar. To enjoy, to dream, and to keep dreaming. Irresistibly smooth milk chocolate from the Lindt Matra Chocolatier. Melt into a lasting moment of bliss.
That should be it of this video. Guys, like this type of reaction video, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And hope you guys like this video. And you want me to react to anything else, please comment down below. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time. Jack Daytime out.